What up, it's your boy Sly Kane and Afro TV coming to you today with another review. This time I'm reviewing Stephen King's It, the 2017 edition, not the old one. I'm sure you know that. And it's going to be a brief review. It's not going to be a long one. I'm going to touch on some points that I thought was dope and let you know if you should go see it or not, in my opinion. Because it was the movie as a kid that kind of scarred me because I was afraid of clowns for a very long time. I still don't like clowns. They make me very uneasy. So there's that. I'm just not terribly afraid of them anymore. At least I thought I wasn't. Maybe. I don't know. So here's my review on the movie. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. That is high. I know. But that movie was great. I've seen the original movie. It was like a 2-part series that was like on ABC when I was younger. I've read the book, which the book is. If you've seen the original series, you know it's 2 parts. It's split in 2 parts. If you have it on DVD, you have to flip it to the other side. So you know it's a very long, lengthy film. The book's even longer, and they did a good job with the 2-part series. Sticking to the books for the most part, but they left a lot out. You couldn't show a lot of stuff that on TV that was in that book. As for the movie, when it came to the actual what Pennywise was doing in that book, it was a little bit closer. And that it's different reading the book and reading about all of the gory details and then actually seeing it in the movie. That's one reason I'm giving that movie such a high rating, is because they didn't pull any punches. Yeah, the 90% of the cast is kids. The Losers Club, they're all 12, 13. I always forget their age. They're young. But they didn't hold back because they were kids. That movie was rated R, and it was rated R for a reason. If I'm not mistaken, I think I read somewhere where they said that movie could have been like NC-17. So if you're planning on getting the DVD, probably look forward to that movie being either unrated or NC-17 and seeing more stuff in there. The movie got off in the beginning, got straight to it. The first thing you see is the iconic scene with Georgie running down the street while it's raining, while he's floating a boat that his brother Bill made for him. And it goes into the sewer, and this is where we get introduced to Pennywise. The scene was a lot more creepy than the original with Tim Curry as Pennywise. Bill Skarsgård, I always pronounce his name wrong. He's from Hemlock Grove. He's the brother of Eric Northman from True Blood. He was creepy as hell. And the little interaction was very eerie and odd, and it brought up mad memories. But in that scene alone, it sets the tone of what this movie is going to be. It's letting you know this is not the movie that you saw. If you're around the age when it first came out, or if you even seen the original, it's not that same movie. It's not going to be that. Because immediately, when Georgie goes to grab his boat from Pennywise, he bites his arm off. He just literally rips it off immediately. And you're seeing this little 7-year-old kid get mauled, dragged into the sewer and eaten. That right there had my heart pounding. It was just that. They didn't pull any punches. Pennywise was messing these kids up in this movie. You can, and the actors they got, the young actors they got were phenomenal. Each character did a great job. There was not one weak link in the characters, even the bullies. They were all good characters. You can see that they made sure they took their role serious and everything like that. So it wasn't like one character wasn't really filling in, or it was like just generic or cliche or anything like that. And the reason I like this adaptation of the movie is because they touched on each of the Losers Club, each member, their own fears. setting up for when Pennywise would actually come at them. He came at them individually, and you knew what they were afraid of and why they were afraid of it. And they touched on it very, very well. Um, they made sure they waited to the end when Richie, the comedian of the group, which is my favorite character from the book and the original movie, and you didn't know what his fear was until the very end when it was a clown. And when they showed that that was his fear, like I said, they did not pull any punches with this movie. The Pennywise wasn't necessarily scary, because it was never, as a kid it was scary to me. As I watched it again when I started to age and get older, it was never really necessarily scary. It was creepy and unsettling. This movie was actually scary and unsettling. There's a scene in the movie with the kids looking at a projector, and it starts moving on its own. It's showing pictures of Bill's family and Georgie, his little brother that was killed by Pennywise, and Pennywise just jumps out of the screen, and it's the most random shit you ever see, and it just makes everybody in the movie theater jump, including me. And I'm sitting there like, oh my god, he's going to eat these little kids. And he's literally terrorizing these kids, but the whole time he's terrorizing them, they're not really necessarily realizing that he hasn't been able to actually harm them or hurt them, and that's because of the bond the Losers Club has formed with one another. And I like that they kept that. In the end, the Stephen King's It is a movie about friendship, about bonds, about how strong it is that it can overcome anything. That's what it is. If you get past the murdering, the gore, the homophobia, racism, and a lot of other stuff that's in that book he touches on, you'll see that at its core that it is a movie in a book about friendship. And the kids all meshed together. You could tell they were actually fond of one another. They were friends. Even the adult characters they had in there, the man that played Bev's dad was equally creepy and pedo-ish as hell, like in the books and in the original movie. In the original movie, he wasn't that bad. It was a little unsettling with him, but in this one, you could tell it was really weird and he was really pedo-ish. With Pennywise taking all these other forms, it wasn't that comical way that Tim Curry did it. It was like, this is what you're afraid of, and this is what I'm going to make sure that the audience experience, make you afraid of what the kids were afraid of. You might have never been afraid of clowns. You might have never been afraid of a leopard, because Eddie, the hypochondriac, his mom coddled him and was giving him medicine to make him think he was sick. He saw a leopard, and most people don't think about being afraid of a leopard, but in that movie, it definitely makes you look at it a different way and be unsettled about it. Each fear that the kid had made you fear with him, and I thought that was great. The way the scene where they first actually confront Pennywise in his house, and you see that right there, this is where they start realizing that they need to stick together, because he's just separating everybody. He separates Bill, he separates Eddie, he separates Richie, and he's all getting to him. And there is a scene in that house where he's literally about to eat Eddie. He's about to devour him, and Bill and Richie breaks out, and right there he feels that he can't touch him. And I thought it was great, because in that scene, the little actor that played Eddie, I really felt like he was gonna get eaten. It literally had me thinking in my mind back at the book, like, did Eddie get eaten right here? Did he die? Are they changing it? You didn't know. So I thought that was great. Bev's character was great. She was just as fearless as she was in the books. Like I said, I liked the book. I read it. They kept true to the book for the most part. in the movie. There's stuff they left out, which I'm very happy they left out. Others that I wish they would have kept, and maybe they will, because this is going to be a two-parter. This is only chapter 1. There's a turtle in the book. I can never pronounce his name. It starts with a is it an M? I think it starts with an M. But he's like the opposite of what Pennywise is, and it's his enemy, and it connects to other stories in Stephen King's universe. The Dark Tower, those books explain a lot of that. But they throw Easter eggs in there. They talk about there's a scene where the kids jump off of like a cliff into like a ravine or whatever, and they're on the water, and one of them says they see a turtle. They mention that, and there's a scene where Bill goes into Georgie's room and he sees a Lego turtle. He's holding that. So they kept little nuances from the book in there. There's a scene when they're in the sewer for the final confrontation. In the book, there's a very sexual scene between Bev and all of the rest of the boys that I'm not going to get into detail with, but they left it out, and I'm actually happy that they did. They didn't really need to keep that in. That was in the book. I understand why they did it. Wouldn't have translated well to the movie. There wasn't really much that I didn't like about the movie. It was pretty gory for the most part. It was pretty gory. There's one scene with Bev where there's just blood everywhere. That scene where in the original, when Bev's in the bathroom and the blood pops on her with a balloon. No, I'm talking about gushing. The first the first Nightmare on Elm Street when Johnny Depp gets pulled in gore. Stuff like that, they kept it. It's nice. But like I said, I wish they would have kept a little bit more of the book, showing the racism and the homophobe, showing how bad Derry really was. Like, they kind of touched on Derry being bad and people ignoring stuff, but no, in the books it's much worse than that. I wish they would have kind of kept that and showed how much of an impact Pennywise was having on that town, how dark he was making it. The ending scene was great, especially at the end of the movie. There's a speech that Richie gives before they have their final fight with Pennywise, and it is the greatest speech ever. Overall, I am looking forward to chapter 2 of the movie. I can't wait. I'm hoping it's just a little bit darker, because it's going to be their adult halves facing off with Pennywise. And I'm hoping they touch a little bit more on the other stuff that's in the book that they might have left out in the first one. There's a lot more to it. I don't want to give too much away. There's a lot more. And I'm also hoping that Ben, the fatter kid in the movie, his adult self was played by John Ritter in the original 2-part series. I am hoping that they get Jason Ritter, John Ritter's son, to reprise that role, to take that role. I'm hoping for it. Overall, I am very pleased with what they did. I think his name is Andy Muschietti. I might be butchering that. I'm sorry. His first name is Andy for sure. You can look it up. I am hoping that he gets Jason Ritter, and that he stays true to the books, to the book in the second half. And I'm just looking forward to it. And let me know what you think about the movie, what you thought if you saw it. Leave a comment, a like, and please hit that subscribe button if you like the channel. The next review I probably will do is Kingsman 2. Definitely looking forward to that. I am looking forward to see how they're going to top the church scene from the first movie. But this has been Afro TV. Peace.